What's up again, guys? Yeah, it's me, your friendly neighborhood Dovahkiin, and welcome back to Let's Play Wasteland 3. And before we begin, be sure to hit on the subscribe button for more great videos. Alright, in the previous vid, we concluded the Big Trouble in Lil Vegas quest, and the choices that I made there were all for gaining reputation from the marshals. In today's vid, we're gonna tackle two significant side quests. First is Wolfe's Hunt, which we got in the last episode upon returning to Ranger HQ. Gary Wolfe, aka Salt, and his squad are synth hunters, who were banned by Sheriff Daisy to set foot here in downtown. So he commissioned us to search and destroy a synth here named October-11. And our only lead to its exact whereabouts is via hearing radio static. The stronger it gets, the nearer it is. But of course, I already know exactly where the synth is hiding. In the Colorado Heritage Museum, that is. By the way, having Nerd Stuff 4 will be quite handy for this mission. Okay, let's play.
Is Buchanan a man?
What did you do to me? Let me go! Tourmaline says we shouldn't talk to humans, but I don't want to die. I guess. What do you want to know? I don't even know much about me. I haven't been alive for long. It's the first thing I said. That's what Tourmaline told me. I woke up and I said it. October-11. I know it's important because it's always in my head, but I can't remember why. Tourmaline says I was made to trick humans, but I got put in the wrong body. I should be in a little body. Then no one could guess what I was. I could be safe. Okay. We fled across the mountains from Arizona. It was just Tourmaline and me, but we picked up signals from others like us. We thought maybe we'd find a safe place. My protector, another synth like me. We got separated and I'm on my own now. Tourmaline called it preemptively defending ourselves. All humans want to kill synths, so we've got to kill them first. It's a matter of survival. I don't want to be turned off. Okay. All I want to do is get out of here and find someplace better to hide. Somewhere far away from this city. Will you let me go? I won't! You'll kill him if I do! Anyway, I'm not really sure where he went. No! Don't!
And judging on how our convo went, it might have seemed that I would spare it. But no fucking way. Anyhow, don't worry. No rocket was spent in that blast. It's just the graphic animation of whichever was equipped as your primary weapon. Alright, before we bring October-11's head back to Wolfe, let's open the locked door here with Mechanics 3. Nice! Finally found a better flamethrower for Milk.
Greetings, visitors! My name is Junko Murayama, and it's my pleasure to welcome you to the Saul Buchanan, Colorado Heritage Museum. You're about to embark on a journey through history as we share with you the people and events that made Colorado what it is today. Our new and improved animatronic exhibits will bring history to life as you learn about the rise of the Patriarch, the unification of the 100 families, and their battles against the Monster Army and the Plains Gangs. The staff of the Colorado Heritage Museum asks that you do not interact with the exhibits. Ready? Let's go!
Find that synth in Colorado Springs yet? Oh, no muss, no fuss. How about that? All right then. Here's the cash, as promised. Now, one more thing. I was kinda afraid you'd be as pussy as the AZ Rangers, but looks like you're serious. So I've got another proposal for you. We need a base of operations for our synth hunt. And it looks like you've got plenty of space. What do you say? Can we set up shop here? Great. We'll find a corner and keep out of the way. And just to make the deal sweeter, how do you like to pick up a few more bounties? Like I told you, synths communicate with each other long distance. That means when I hack October-11's head, I'll be able to find its friends. Unfortunately, we're still on the trail of a pack of eastbound synths right now, so we can't stop and hunt for these. But it's got to be done, so I'll pay you to do it. Cash for each head. You want the job? Great. Now, let me just crack this egg. You see that light in the center? That's our current location. Actually, October-11's head. Those other lights around the middle one? Those are the other synths. Great. The sooner you end them, the sooner you get paid.
Wolfe's Hunt is a series quest, wherein, as you've just witnessed, delivering October-11's head to him starts the other synth-related bounty missions. So obviously I had to kill the first one in order to get the other quests. Okay, now to our second side quest, Don't You Be My Neighbor, which is set at the Luxe apartments just behind the museum. And the landlady, Rosie Wong, out of suspicion, asked us to investigate one of her tenants. Anyway, this place is peppered with high skill checks. So if you don't want to miss out on anything, make sure that your skills are up to par.
Yeah? This is the Luxe apartments? Who's there? What? You're here? I don't believe it. Come in, come in.
I can't believe you came. Those goddamn marshals never come. They think I'm a pest. I'm vigilant, is what I am. V-I-G-I-L-A-N-T. Anyhow, I hope you're ready for trouble, Rangers, because I got a situation here. The guy in room 3, Irv. He's not supposed to have anybody else living there, but I hear voices in there all the time. They're always banging on stuff, and I can smell burning and bleach and I don't know what else. Make him stop it or throw him out. Either one is fine with me. He just says there's nothing going on and there's no one in there but him. Lying to my face like I don't know shit from diamonds. How dare he? Apartment room 3, end of the long hallway. The door's on the right. I know he's up to something. I just know it.
Is it her that smells like cats? Or the whole place?
Alright, Marshals, listen up. If you won't take my noise complaint seriously and do your damn job, then I guess I'll just have to do it for you. There's been strange noises coming out of apartment 3 all week. People yelling and stomping around at all hours, and strange mechanical sounds. He could be making bombs for all I know. You say you need evidence? Well, Irv just left, so I'm going inside and documenting everything I find. Who's there? Oh, it's Rosie Wong, the landlady. I was just checking to make sure you were okay. Why wouldn't I be okay? Oh, well, you know, the noise. I'm fine.
Alright, we found another cyborg chicken, the third one in the game. By the way, I featured the previous one in the last episode when we revisited the Garden of the Gods. Now that's a better sniper rifle for Jody.
Meat space demons intercepted. Display rendered objects and assigned to translation vectors. Redundant variable detection grid populated by live stream data. Alert. Do not delete local references to object. If memory allocation is null, then unhandled exception occurs. Ensure transactions in mempool always have unique keys.
Don't be curiously stupid by opening the mysterious case. Leave it as it is until you meet Satoshi near the end of the game. Then you'll be in for the best surprise. Wow, what an awesome heavy machine gun. To remind you again, this is Supreme Jerk Mode, the hardest difficulty. And what lies behind this door, 3 Earth clones with 556 HP each, is so far the most difficult battle. In fact, at this early point in the game, when my squad's average level is just 6, here in Supreme Jerk, it's impossible. Well, obviously later it's doable, when you have more than enough levels and firepower. But although underpowered, I want to showcase this quest now. And believe me, I tried everything. Using as much explosives as I can, deploying turrets and decoys, hit-and-run tactics, and the list goes on. And I've pretty much exhausted all the strategies that I can muster. But in the end, nothing worked. However, the key here is not to go for combat at all, but rather skill checks. First, you'll need lockpicking 5 to open the door. Then, sneaky shit 4 to disarm a tripwire. Then, mechanics 3 to disable a generator which powers up a light machine turret. And finally, weird science 3 and nerd stuff 4 to hack the clone machine. Alright, let's do this.
Sacramento, California. God, the greatest mind of a generation, thrown down the Gazaman Platz.
FYI, Jodie has no points in sneaky shit, and her detection time is just the normal 1.8 seconds. But with proper timing, she can make it across the turret.
God, the greatest mind of a generation, thrown down the Gazaman Platz. What's my name? Why don't you tell me my name? Never know. No one must ever tell them. The square of the hippopotamus is 3 times the length of its eye. The world is ours, Josephine. I can see my
And that is how you make things easy. To know exactly what the fuck was that all about and who's responsible, we need to reenact an experiment. Okay, before we go back to Miss Wong, let's loot up this apartment unit.
what'd you find in apartment 3? Was he making bombs like I said? Weirder how? Okay. Can I at least go in and clean up? Oh, his security deposit's not gonna cover the repairs, is it? If he wasn't in his apartment, then he's probably at the bookshop in Market Square. Look for a skinny guy, always wearing a lab coat. Let me know what happens.
Alright, now let's go to Market Square to confront the original herb.
Hi. Do you have any books on cloning?
On what? Clowning? No clown books, sorry.
No, cloning! You know, using your own... I guess. Who are you? I'm Irv. What do you want? Oh no! Did you kill them? Oh, poor clones. Yeah, they weren't as human as I wanted them to be. I screwed up the formula somehow. Well, I guess I'm kinda afraid to make friends the normal way, so I made them an abnormal way. Only I didn't do it very well. When they came out of the chamber, there was something wrong with them. They were really stupid and really crazy. And they just got crazier day by day. If I hadn't run out of the apartment today, they would have killed me. Yeah, I'm a bad father. I'm a bad father. Please don't tell the marshals, but I'm one of his clones. Unfortunately, I'm 4th generation, at least. So, I'm not as smart as the original. Smart enough to use Dr. Finster's notes to get the cloning machine working again, but not smart enough to make good quality clones. I can't even make one as good as myself, and I'm not that good. Bits of me don't work very well at all. The original? No, not anymore, but I guess, in a way, as long as I'm alive, he is too, because I'm him, aren't I? I'm him, but not the part of him that wanted to wipe out the entire human race, right? Yeah? I wasn't suggesting, no. You know the whole nature versus nurture debate? How some things are genetic and some things you learn? Well, that killing everybody part of him, that was nurture. He wasn't born that way, and neither am I swear. You believe me, don't you? Oh, thank God. So, you're not gonna arrest me. You're gonna let me be a real scientist? This is the best! I'm so grateful! I'll do good work for you, I promise. Thank you so much!
Even though he's a clone of a villain in the previous games, I see no harm in letting him stay at Ranger HQ. In fact, later, I'll show you the benefits of that choice. Anyhow, let's go back to Rosie Wong to end this mission.
Any word on the loony in number 3 yet, Rangers? About time. Gonna take me a week to clean up that mess. What was his deal, anyway? Serves me right for asking, I guess. Well, thanks anyway. Here's a little something for getting him out. Oh, my sciatica.
Now, we're back at the base, and let's see what Irv can offer us.
Not sure how I feel about killing synths, but if doing so keeps humans safe, I'm not going to argue about it. What do you need, Rangers? I'll do what I can. Have a seat. I won't. I never do.
Hi, Rangers. Thanks again for letting me work for you. This is so exciting. He's wonderful. He's almost as smart as Dr. Finster, but without all the, evil.
What? Is that a good idea?
Yes. Theoretically. I can have the machine take your genetic material and run the process, but no guarantee what comes out the other end. I did make a few tweaks to the process, though, so whatever it is, it probably won't be so angry. Probably.
You're seriously gonna go through with this? Wow.
Okay, well, how exciting! But before we start, one tiny caveat. The process requires special genetic material, and I've only got enough for one clone, so if anything happens to our new friend, try to recover its remains so we can reuse them. Now, put your palm on the machine right here. Hey, this one can talk!
You can only have one clone at a time, and if it dies, you have to bring back its remains to create a new one. And as you can see, it has no weapons or armor, but it's quite beefy, with 200 plus HP. Anyway, I know this video was devoid of combat, but sometimes you have to play smart. That way, I was able to conserve a lot of ammo and items. And that is all there is for now. Thanks for watching. Also check out other videos from Sabbath Man Philippines, and don't forget to subscribe. See ya on my next vid. Peace out, y'all.